I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, it's a day for celebration in the East Bay. It is, for all intents and purposes, the final chapter of what has been a great era of football here in Oakland, California. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Oakland Raiders. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play, and they've lost 3 straight here, and it goes without saying, I guess, they could certainly use a win.
And how do they get a win? Because they've lost 3 straight, I think it's paramount that they get a fast, clean start to this game.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jaguars, they've been as hot as anyone. The win last week makes it 9 out of 10.
The results are hard to argue. If there's a team better suited for the postseason right now, I don't know who they are.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by the all-time passing leader in NFL history at 40 years of age now, Drew Brees.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. Threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
Switch up. Cut.
Brees now on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Now Brees. And it's hauled in by Ben Watson. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line. A look now at the Oakland offense.
And the play of this offensive line is going to be so important in this game because we saw the sack a minute or so ago. They've got to be able to give their guy time to throw. That means communication and being physical is vital. Otherwise, this could be a long game.
Now Brees on third down. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. So likely a 3-and-out on their opening drive. That's not a good omen for a team that's lost 3 straight games.
Too many threes that you're mentioning right there. That's a number they've got to get off of. And the big risk you're running right now is discouragement amongst the ranks. How do you keep them up? How do you keep them motivated? They've got to dial up something to give themselves some confidence.
So here's the first drive now for the Jags. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
They run. This is Scarborough. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Starter introduction time now. Brandon Sheriff, Charles, really solid.
Tremendous player. A left tackle in college, has the versatility to play either tackle or guard in the NFL. No matter where you plug him, you're assured of an excellent performance.
2nd and 5. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down. A look there at how the Raiders will start defensively. They're in the spot statistically that you don't want to be in against the pass. Number 32 in the league, dead last.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
They come up now, 3rd and 5, following the incomplete pass. From the gun, Bird. And this is caught by Watkins. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the third down play. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 45-yard line. Now Scarborough. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. The numbers for him from a week ago: 15 carries, 107 yards.
And a rushing title's definitely within sight, so the excitement on the offensive side of the football, I mean, they're bouncing off the walls wanting to get out there, but they also understand that they're going to face some really stacked defenses down the stretch because they don't want it to happen at their expense.
And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. 7 yards there and a first down.
First down, Jacksonville.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. They'll run with a rookie from Texas A&M. It's Travion Williams. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
On 3rd down, Bird. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. A big one there for the Jags. 18 yards, first down. They're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Not able to go anywhere that time. 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. An 11-yard touchdown as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Breeze now. And it's hauled in by Nick Vanette. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now the leading rusher for the Pats last year is a rookie, Sony Michel. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
95, 56, 59. You must be
On 2nd and 9, Breeze. He's got the hook up with Conley. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit him, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
And some room to work. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
10 yards there. Good enough for a Jags first down.
Under 10, under 10, 10. 52. Not today, Ron. Not today. 52's the mark.
On first down, Bird. He's got Smith here. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Buster Screen. Powerful running.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Breeze now to throw. Looking sideline, incomplete. Well, prior to that, he had hit his first 6 passes to start the game, so on a nice little run to begin.
It feels like this offense has carried its dress rehearsal into the game. You know, because you do practice it, you do go through it, and in this case, it is clicking exactly like they drew it up.
Here's Breeze to throw. To Michel on the screen. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Gary and Conley. And they will score. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. To throw again on second down. Breeze. And that's complete to Sanders. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Now Breeze. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. On the ground, Michel. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. On the return, it's James. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And with still more than a minute to go in the half, time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And he's got his man on the comebacker. That one, a gain of 20 and a first down.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Come on.
Throwing on first down. Bird. Catch made. That's the rookie tight end, Josh Oliver. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. 20 yards on both of those plays back-to-back there. They are moving now. It's another first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Bird. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Second and 15. He's going to loft one deep left side here. This is caught. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. The extra point up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And now Oakland ready to take the field. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in this second half. This will be taken in at the 1. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return.
Here we go.
Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
This is Scarborough. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Looking to throw on second down. Bird eluding the pressure right. And this one complete to Smith.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Squeeze, double time. Hey, we got 4. We got 4 down.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Nelson Aguilar, the intended receiver. And now it's second down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Bo Scarborough, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead.
In as many coaches' meetings as we sit in, we hear the word finish all the time, don't we? And on that play, the back actually finished getting into the end zone, breaking the last tackle. Tried to wrap up, tried to use the proper technique, just wasn't able to get it done.
Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Raider offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and in throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. A pass complete here to Conley. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They'll run it. This is Michel, and he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. And he is close to a first down as he's tackled at the Jaguars' 33.
He'd had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Breeze looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 15. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. Keep in mind, he had the 3-interception game last week, so we requested to talk with him this week. He was all smiles. He's still all smile.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we didn't jinx him at all, did we?
No.
Because ordinarily that happens, things fall off, but not in this case. I think a lot of it goes back to his technique, his ability to see the quarterback throw the ball while understanding where the receiver is running his route allows him to make a lot of plays on the football, and he's taking it away at a really high rate.
But one thing's for sure, they're still taking their shots downfield, even with a big lead.
I think it's way too early to go into a shell, so I like what they're doing. Continue to take your shots. Continue to be aggressive. It's not their job to slow themselves down.
And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
To throw on 3rd down. Bird. And this is caught by Watkins. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Back to throw. Bird, complete. Smith has it. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. And an alley to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A 14-yard 1st down pickup for the Jaguars.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 49-yard line. Now they'll run it with Scarborough. Bowls him over. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Back now in the East Bay. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. On 1st and 10, Bird completes it to Aguilar. And down inside the 15 he goes. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a 1st down. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Now a play fake here on first down. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Eric Armstead able to record his 5th sack of the season.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Looking to throw. Bird. This is caught. Watkins. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for third down. The offense on third down tonight, a perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. And to give this time to the tailback. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's first and goal. They'll run it with Williams. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Travion Williams with his first career NFL touchdown as his guys continue to pour it on. Point after, up and good. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for first and 10. Now this throw caught left side. Oh, breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Sony Michel, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders get a score closer. Well, he had the big run to get down there, so you got to let him finish it off, don't you?
I think so, but what I liked even more, the fact that he wanted to finish it off. How many times have we seen a guy break off a big run, and we see that universal sign where he's tapping his helmet to get me out of the game? No! Stay out on the field and enjoy the benefits of the success you created.
And he hits pay dirt because of it. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. From the 34 now, here's first and 10. Back to throw. Burn. They'll roll him out right. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Off the play fake. Bird. It's caught. Smith. A big one there for the Jags. 18 yards, first down. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Escaping, and a big loss here as he's taken down. Eric Armstead in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Being chased out left. A breakdown defensively there as the scramble is going to set him up with a much more manageable third down. I thought they were going to sack him there like they did on first down. Great coverage, but he found a way to move with his legs.
Yeah, his ability to take off, not only did he get some yardage back, he got a little bit extra. Really helps him on third down, makes it manageable now.
He wants it all for the end zone. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Jags come up empty on fourth down. And the Raider D, they get the football back. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. That's to his running back, Sony Michel. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Now a first down carry. It's Michel. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
At the 43-yard line.
To throw, it's Breeze. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hawkinson. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 15-yard line. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this fourth quarter.
95-56, 95-56. Let's put that team on.
Play action, Breeze. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. Another try after the first down sack. Breeze. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. Under pressure, and they got to him again. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14.
Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Now the ball comes loose, and the Raiders have recovered.
All ball, baby. All ball. Ready. 5-9. Check, 59. Hey, come on now. Come on now.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Breeze. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw is Breeze. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. One final try here for Breeze. He's going to go up top, and this is going to be caught. So it affects the final score, not the outcome, but it is a late touchdown here on the game's final play. Doesn't affect the outcome, but hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot.
A lot there. The extra point is good, but it only impacts the final score as this game comes to a close. Well, on the one side, if you try to take away something positive from this game, they played to the final whistle, getting the touchdown there on the last play, but still, all for naught, really.
Yeah, I'd say give them points for positivity. I like that. That part is good. But I often wonder, when the game is settled and the clock is run out, do we really need to kick the extra point?
Oh, yeah. It's silly. It's silly.
It doesn't make any sense to me. I know that people have explained before, well, you got to play it all the way through.
Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody might want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pound. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Step back, let me get some room. Congrats every time I'm through. Same packet, nobody knew, so I never get confused. Hotel, get a bird's eye view. Hotel, get a waiting room. Read a magazine while you wait for me. Baby, I'll be done so soon. Phone gotta be off, each store got locks. I got some trusted shoes. 10K on the countertop, don't look so shocked, it's nothing new. Death comes in threes, wins come in twos. Cash comes in ones, throw it up, celebrate some news. I do a good job, pull up and pull out and pull out. Head on and hood on, pedal to metal. When I put my foot on, I got to put on. I got a bad one, they wanna keep me. Oh, that's a good one. Pockets are dense, I think my bread is hard as a crouton. Receipts in my pocket, don't come with no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Touchdown, 8th floor, come down. Hotel, lobby. What now? 11. Might give her one down, just to tell her it's one now. How come? I need rest, no recess on my schedule. Mama used to serve vegetables, now half the meals got tentacles. Half the Emirates need a reservation and half my money goes straight to taxes. But I don't trip about it, that's what happens when you got dreams closer than imagine. Habits, I know what they thinking, they don't even gotta say it. Nope, they thinking they just made it. I know how to make everybody feel famous. I don't gotta work no day shift. I don't gotta split no payment. I don't gotta answer questions, and I don't need you to okay it. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket.